And welcome to the most anticipated show all week long. We are the Four Color Fossils. I'm your host, Graphic Man. I am joined by Gratu Orloff, our foreign correspondent, Paulo Costa, the great and talented Eric Breen, and we are joined as a special treat by the real Dr. Vickman. Hello there, representing the Geeky Puppet Show as always.
And the youth of America.
Yes, and yes.
I don't know, Paulo might be younger than me. I'm not sure what his age.
Remember, register to draft out there, gentlemen. So
I still remember. I still lived in the 70s for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Wow.
This is a good time to be over draft age.
Yes.
Right?
Let's see who's out there. Oh, look, here's Recess saying Fossil Adventures would be about bagging and boarding, right up our alley. Yes. I would watch someone bag and board. Here's Jay. Hello, Jay. Maranya, would be a special issue about the horror of being breed and what to do about it. No Jambo issue. Yes, it isn't easy. There's no Jambo tonight. Jambo texted me, and that's very unfortunate. He had to go foreclose on a orphanage or something. But here's Scotty, who says he's first. There's a couple of people in front, though, it would appear. Yes, okay, he is first. Well, I'll take your word for it, Scott. Here's I Love Disney and Comics. And he's singing the Dr. Pepper tune. Very good, very good. Special announcement about I Love Disney coming up here in a few minutes. Yes, thank you, Dr. I could use one. Boy, I tell you.
You just breathed a jingle.
Yeah. No Gil Kane alarm, double-sized special. It's the unshocking reason why Graphic Man refuses to play the alarm. Number one, he's a closet Gil Kane fan. That's fake news. Number two, he has a shrine dedicated. No, I sure don't. I try to explain that when Eric shows a Gil Kane, almost a reverent hush falls upon the fossils instead of really overdoing it. I think it backfires on them. Fireball made it. And Maranya's greeting all of the friends of the old Four Color Fossils. Michael Taylor's here, saying hello to Jay. And hello to Scott.
He's part of the show.
Yes. Used to love Recess, but now they don't taste the same. Okay. Reese's probably.
Oh, Reese's. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you're eating children, that's a different story.
Hey, I am one of us. All right. He's happy to be here. Good. Hopefully he'll stay happy a few minutes later. When we really get rolling, Fireball saying hello to everybody. More Scott. And Chuck. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. What's up, Chuck? Easy Comic Reader.
Jackson's going to need to put the line in there so we can know when to break from the comments and go to the books, right?
Yeah, probably when I get ready to go. Easy Comic Reader reached out to me on Facebook, but he wasn't using that name. I thought, who in the world is this guy? But fortunately, I recognized that picture. Hello, Easy Comic. And there's Comic Book Curator. By the way, I did accept his friend request. So I'm very picky, though. All right, Scotty. I reviewed a She-Hulk figure and a She-Hulk comic today.
At this point, Michael just says hello to everyone. He's got it covered, but he's going to do like 30 more.
Well, they're individuals here. They're all individualistic. Here's Lead Paint all the way from St. Louis.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not
Jackson 5.
I like Mean Street, but I don't know what that was.
That was the Jackson 5. Yeah.
How you get away with that on YouTube, I have no idea.
Oh, they knocked me down quite a bit.
Get up again?
Yes. I get knocked down. Yeah, I should sing that.
Please don't.
No.
You're never going to keep Graphic Man down.
Probably record that. Gary, hello, Gary. And the Jackson Roy Kirk.
There goes the neighborhood.
It's my best friend talking about.
And here comes the great neighborhood. It's Steve joining us. Hello, Charlton.
Hey.
Hello, finally.
Must be having internet trouble.
I was gonna say we're running short on fossils tonight. There's like not that many.
Well, we shouldn't in the weeks to come. More about that here in a minute. To release a CD of a fossil. I actually put a lot of those on my CD and I cruise around town listening. Hit that thumbs up. Yes, we appreciate that. Tell what season of Wonder Woman publicly photo taken from by her costumes. Second and third season for briefs. Oh, that's right. I put a picture of her in there. Here's Missing Mars. Hello, Missing Mars. And we're almost at the end of these.
Can't tell if Rhaegar insulting me or insulting you guys with that comment.
Putting a sea monkey on Submariner. Yes, well, thank you. I don't know where I get these ideas. Somebody usually just says something. Eric Breen said something about a witching hour, and I went with it. Gratu said something about what's that, Frankenberry cereal. I went with that. Here's Ron. Hello, Ron. Yeah, go ahead. Here's Spinneraki, stuck at work.
Yeah, that's another thing. I was just thinking with the Ghostbusters thing coming on. I'm surprised they didn't bring back Boo Berry or some kind of like cereal that they did for the first one.
Well, they might.
Yeah, I think I was suggesting you do like a young romance with that Gorgo fighting whatever.
Oh, you did, but I forgot all about that.
What?
Yeah.
There was some Charlton comic with Gorgo fighting
Good.
Conga or something, and I thought they looked like they were in a love embrace, and I thought make it a romance comic.
I don't know what my mind goes straight to that stupid Grogu, whatever that is from Star Wars. When you say Gorgu, I know it's mostly two different characters, but
I'll break in here to say hello to Dave, and he's shaving, so this must be a big day for Dave. That's great.
both legs, Dave.
Here's Jess Lynch. Hello there. Eric refused my friend request. I don't think he's on Facebook.
Not now.
I'm barely on there. Oh my goodness, I'm not a fan of it. Here's Rhaegar, the 12-year-old doing here. This is what you were talking about. I thought, what's
Yeah, am I really young or are you guys just really old?
comparatively speaking?
Nice Pablo Cura, 68.
Yes.
I mean, if you have Professor Pix on here, then I could see a 12-year-old boy.
Pause. Almost. I Love Disney. Yeah, we might do it right about here. So, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of I Love Disney, I took a look at the calendar, and I put I Love Disney down for next Wednesday, and so he's going to be on, which is great. And then I took a look ahead at the next week after that, and I realized something. That's the 14th of February. And there's something special about that day. Can't quite put my finger on it. But something tells me we should move in 2 weeks to a Thursday night episode with Black Box Silver and Bronze, Tennessee Joe, joining us on the special Thursday after the Valentine's Day. So next Wednesday on the 7th is Steve, I Love Disney. And then I'll be telling you more and more about that. So those of you that are married won't mess up this
I
coming.
love everybody. Shouldn't worry.
You're taking
man.
my brain away from my channel on Thursday nights?
That's awesome. We should
Say
do
it.
it, man.
A Valentine's Day?
Yeah,
No.
why not?
Where you just talk about how you love
Romance
comics.
in the air. Yeah.
Yeah, all the romance covers.
I've been
Somebody
married for
will-
36 years, so it's kind of like
Eric would,
you
yeah,
know,
Eric would.
Valentine's Day
I
is
think
another
Eric would
day.
have a lot of romance covers if
Yeah.
it did Valentine's Day.
Or you can bring the wives and tell them, "Come on, it's romantic." And he got the
Yeah.
boys and talking about comic books.
Don't
Well,
they
that-
also? I mean, you got Valentine's Day. and Sweet
Yeah,
Day.
bring everybody on.
That is an idea, Apollo. Not a good one, but it is an idea. Melting
I
Man,
know.
Waxy
It's
Flakes.
not gonna happen.
Yeah. No, I have big plans for that day. So put Godzilla's head on Gorgo's body. Well, okay. Didn't exist. Steve, yes.
Taking the wife hiking on a romantic hike. About
Not
that?
around here, no. As I love Disney. Yeah. I have to spend the 14th with. I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
Right.
Madness fossils on a Thursday. Pigs will fly. Dogs and cats will marry. Yes.
Wait. We have a Venkman here. Venkman, do the scene from Ghostbusters.
The mass hysteria. Cats
Yes.
and dogs living together. The real wrath of God type. No, it's in the days.
Yeah, with the show. Oh, thank you, comic book curator. That's so sweet. We appreciate that.
I suppose, Brain, you'll be able to go on that day on Thursday because you probably will have 0 new books.
Well, I might just spend the whole day trying to catch up on comic book curator's video output.
And I am so glad that Charlton 66 made it because I have some pulp-like things to show.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I think he'll give a
Wow,
Check this.
look at that. That's something.
lightning.
Zapping that dude, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd show
That's
you an
cool.
interior. Made a mark here. So
That's cool.
anyway,
Oh, wow, look at that.
that's an old planet by the same company that makes
Very
Planet
nice.
Comic. So speaking of pulps, I hesitate to show you these to you because I'm afraid it might start competition if you don't know about this. What do you think of that?
Huh.
Doesn't that look nice and shiny?
Very. Is that put out by Adventure House?
Yeah, it's brand new.
Wow, is that Adventure House?
Look at the white pages. Yep. So
Wow.
this is a reprint of, so we'll say May 1939, and it's got all the text and
Very
the pictures
cool.
in it. And I want to start getting as many of these as they will make. There's the Lucky Strike,
There was a
tobacco
great magazine that Adventure House put out called High Adventure, and they were reprinting, I guess that was back in the 90s or early 2000s. All the really great ones.
Yes.
So here is a startling, okay, and just to show you, the reprints are just a tad bigger, but the sizes I've noticed were all over the place. So it compares very nicely with this planet. They're about the same. So, but anyway, I didn't know if
Very cool.
So Steve, do you have any of those, Steve?
I've got
Any of these
the Doc Savage and Shadow reproduction ones and some and High Adventure and stuff, but none of those new ones, no. Who puts them out?
Fiction House.
Fiction House. Okay.
Well, that's the original company, but
And then we're talking about who put it out now? Who's doing the reproductions?
Well, I go to the Fiction House website. New
Must
material,
be. Okay,
2000.
must-
There it is, 2022
Wow.
Fiction House.
someone must have
Okay.
revived the name.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Well, it just
So,
must be in public domain completely then.
Yeah. I just love them.
That's very cool.
I want to read them as much as I can without hurting anything. So having trouble getting this out of the bag. I put them in bags to get them out to this part of the house. There we go. Here's Planet Stories.
Wow.
Anyway,
Look at that.
I just love the fact that it looks like a dead ringer, except
Oh yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
only
Mark of
one
the
that had
Beast.
that.
They're doing great work.
That's the only one that had that because it's not on Startling. So,
Yeah.
and I got a Marvel Science And
Yeah.
that just cracks me up seeing the footage. So I recently wrapped up a birthday, and so my daughter and son-in-law got me another Donald Duck. So
That really looks like Howard the Duck.
and let's see here. You guys want to see Headless Horseman, right? So here's Casper.
That's that guy from Facebook.
That's
last night.
crazy.
Never mind.
All right, here's 1946.
Wow.
Front cover by Walt Kelly.
That's weird to see him in civilian garb, not in his sailor suit.
Another Walt Kelly.
That's cool.
I love his fez. That's awesome.
Yeah. Here's a Carl Barks. And Al Tagliaferro. He's an Italian. These boys have been entering all kinds of free sample contests. And I showed this to Gratu about a month ago. I'm sure he's already forgotten. It's Pebbles and Bam Bam.
Oh, nice.
Good, good, good.
That was weird when Hanna-Barbera went to Charlton. I'm sure there was a reason, but I don't know.
Worked out okay. All right,
Yeah, they had a lot of lives.
Is RDV itching to go? We'll go right to him.
I got a few things. I didn't know there was actually a theme tonight.
There is none.
But I was going through some stuff. Okay. Some of the older stuff I have. So, mixing with some new stuff.
There you go.
Nice.
Great cover art.
Right?
No, Jim, what do we got at Red Sun here?
Nope. One of the very first back issues I ever got.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
It just sucks because on the
Cool.
fingertip, you can see it's the paint's missing.
Oh,
But, all right.
there you go.
Wow.
Some of these I got from my Ease auction over at I Love Comics. So pretty much these are all going to be kind of Spider-Man themed, at least for this run.
That's fine.
But some I forgot I even owned. I was going through and I was like, oh, I actually have these. Back when you can actually read Spider-Man and it was actually enjoyable.
That's pre-Jack.
Those days are gone.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, my Spider-Man was my first character that I actually
Is that Paul with Mary Jane on that cover?
It was not Paul. And of course, because you can tell how old I am when I got into comic books.
Yeah.
So I was collecting the Maximum Carnage then.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
I hope
But
you have the
then-
Spider-Man issues.
Then there's two that I actually picked up today.
There you go.
Cool.
What number is that?
Cool, cool.
Number two.
Nice.
And then numbers 25. So that's it for single issues. The rest I have are kind of trades. So
Okay.
if anyone knows what's go next, I think
All
I'll
right.
stop here.
You want to go, Steve?
Yeah, I can roll. And this will not be a formulaic presentation. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Eric, for the English lesson. This will not be formulaic. Yeah. This is what I have. I just had this readily available, no lie, on my reading table in my room. This is the High Adventure that came out around 2000. that
nice.
did the reprints. And this one, I got like 8 or 9 of these, but I was reading these over the week, and it happened to be right on my table. So
They
I
would
figured I'd
they
show
would do
those.
the weird hero
Did
pulps,
pick up.
and I'm sorry. They would do, High Adventure had the weird hero pulps and the spicy, the Asian menace kind of things. It was
Yes.
the not just the Lovecraft that's been
Mhm.
reprinted a million times or Duck Savage. They got into Captain Satan
Correct.
and Operator. What is it, 88 or
Mhm.
whatever, and
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
Operator
High
5.
Adventure is a great magazine. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
The Spider.
Hello, Gotham.
Sorry
Oh,
to
yeah.
interrupt.
Oh no, not at all. This is little, not really pulps, but some science fiction mags from the '60s. This is from March of '64.
Wow.
Got some good stories in here. Jack Sharkey and Isaac Asimov and Robert Bloch were the reason I really wanted that one. This cover sold me. I mean, we've got some great stories in here, but the cover is just pretty darn cool. And that was from April of '64. This is a great cover as well. This is from July of '69. Good stories in this, and this was one of the main, because this was on the top of that stack, and it has a Von Bodie cover. Of course, this has to be the worst of the bunch, with the rip in the bottom of it. But this is such a great cover by him. And Harlan Ellison is this is based off the Harlan Ellison story that's inside. This is from January of '71.
Yeah.
On to the funny books. We've got House of Mystery 197. I showed this on my channel, so if you've already seen
Nice.
the channel, sorry, it's a repeat, but it's with
It's Frank Castle.
Well, where'd they pick up the extra little kid?
Fossil. This is 198. Love the cover on this. I picked these up at a show over the weekend. I did a big trade, and this is part of the trade that I did to pick some of these up. Actually, this whole run of books. House of Mystery number 204. And one of my favorite covers. I don't know why I've never had this in my collection until now. This is 211, House of Mystery. For some reason, I just think of Captain Kronos movie. For some reason, when I see this cover, I don't know why. It's not even related, but I think about that movie. This is a great one. This is a really nice shape too. 221 of House of Mystery.
Yeah, I bought that one off the rack.
Did you really? Where were you
you
living?
You don't realize it as a kid, but when you look at them now, you see what a great job they were doing in simulating the look of an EC comic. That's just magical.
Were we in San Antonio when you bought that, or the PX, or
That
you remember
one,
where you were?
yeah, that's like 73, right? 1973, probably.
January
It's a 20 center.
20 of 74.
Yeah, I was in what month in 74? I'll tell you.
January on the cover.
Yeah, I was third grade. That was right as I was just discovering the superheroes, but at first I was just buying monster stuff.
This this cover, pesky kids mess around with alligators. They're gonna get their comeuppance. If someone's shown this before, I know. 219, House of Mystery. And my Dial H for Hero, I'm working on that. There's 163, House of Mystery. And 164 with his name is Zip Tide. I don't know. They don't call him Riptide, which would make more sense, but you know. And 170, the Human Buzzsaw. And this is one of the bigger books that I did in the trade. My first pre-code atlas I had in my collection, and this is the first one that I have.
Wow.
Mystery Tales,
Very
number
nice.
15.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was one of the. This was half the trade right here. This was this and the rest of the books. But this was the one that took most of the trade value from the book that I traded.
Oh.
Now this is the one I talked about this on my channel. Have everyone here has heard about the prototype issues? This
Yeah.
Professor X prototype.
Yeah.
Where is the validation of that? Because this is the Iron Man prototype in this issue, but it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand where it came from. I know the price guide has been using it and stating that forever. Does anyone here know where that generated from and why it's even used? Because this story, I'll show you the Iron Man prototype. How does this look like Iron Man? I don't know. This looks better than the actual Iron Man armor, but this is supposed to be the Iron Man prototype. It's called the Hulk, so go figure. Guy gets trapped in that armor, but yeah, I know about that. But what's the prototype? What's everyone's take on that? Do they even care, or where did that start? I mean, that's like a value thing that people put on their books, and the price guy talked about it, but I don't understand the significance of it.
I'll go first. I'm not a big fan of it, and I don't see that that's or even a weird foretelling. I don't see all that. The one Strange Tales, which is supposed to be Aunt May. I'm sorry, that's just an old lady. She could have shown up in all kinds of books. So,
but at least they call those two Ben and May in the story. So
okay,
at least
well,
that's, closer than what Steve just showed. I mean,
I agree.
don't get that at all.
Yeah,
I mean, the Superman villain, Metalo, isn't he like an Iron Man prototype in some weird regard? Anybody with suit of armor was I don't know, but
yeah. It's to a point where I would think something would be a prototype. It would be something that looked like them, acted like them somewhat, and it was an idea that the magazine said, "Oh my God, everyone loves this character. Let's now make the book on this character," and then it's the prototype because it was a trying feature. It just kind of bugs me. And now that Challengers of the Unknown, which one, number 6, where they get the powers of the FF before the FF was around, an early Challenger story. Now they're saying that's a prototype for the Fantastic Four because Rocky, I think, gets Human Torch's powers, and somebody else gets a rock formation. I don't know, but the Challengers are a precursor to the FF. I mean, you can get an idea that where it's coming from with that. But now there's one issue. I think it's number 4, number 6, something like that. It's like 4 or 5 times guide now because they're saying that it's an FF. The idea of the FF came from that particular issue of the Challengers. Go figure. I just want to throw that out here, throw that out here, throw that out here during this format because everyone will have an opinion and something I don't know. But I've knew about the prototype since I was a kid. I thought it was a cool idea, but when you get older and you see what's supposed to be the prototype, that's not a prototype. That's not an Iron Man prototype. It looks nothing like Iron Man. It looks better than the original gray suit. So I don't know. Anyway, we'll stop beating that dead horse. One of my favorite fanzines, Comic Crusader. This is number 15 from, I forgot the year. I was just reading this too. That early Dave Gibbons artwork in this bad boy. I don't know what year this is. 71. But it's nice. Captain Marvel. And nice illo here, the Dave Gibbons illustration. I think is kind of cool. A lot of Don Newton work in this. Interview with Otto and Jack Binder and Bill Everett. Bill Everett is in the interview with him as well. The great Sid Shores piece, Hulk piece on the back.
That's cool.
Kind of cool. Yeah, I thought it was kind of neat. And another fanzine I picked up, a Maxor by John Atkins Richardson. Fantastic Exploits number 21. All this is a fantasy piece by that individual. Trying to draw like Raymond and Rosetta. Like I said in my video, if they were 10. But he tries. I gotta give him effort.
Wow.
It's got some good stuff in there though.
Love the shading on that.
Yeah, it's nice. The positions of the way he draws. I love that bottom panel. But yeah, this is a full story. There's nothing to write home about, but it's just a cool fanzine to have. Pick up this Eerie number 81, a Corbin cover on an all Neil Adams issue. Go figure. I don't know why they did that. Maybe they had some stuff left over. They need to put a cover on it, but why they put a Corbin on an all Adams issue, I don't know.
Well, that Corbin cover went with a Corbin story that I guess wasn't in that issue, but there was a dinosaur Corbin story. But when they printed it, they didn't use the Corbin cover with it, so it's weird.
Maybe they had thrown on there. But yeah, it's still a cool issue, though. Added to the Charlton Horror Monsters number 9. This, I do not know who painted this cover, but it's fantastic. I do not know Gratu. Maybe you may know. I don't.
Yeah.
No signature. There's no
she's
credits.
A keeper.
Yeah, that's Gil Kane's wet dream.
That's right.
Now that's a Charlton magazine. I mean that.
Yes.
I mean that could even be Tony Tallarico doing that on a good day.
No, I don't think Tony Tallarico would do that. I don't. That's pretty good.
Well, that's too good for him.
Yeah, they're all made up names for the credits, so they don't enlist the real names. So I don't know who's involved with it, but it's still a nice condition copy because paper quality, as everyone knows, is pretty crappy. But I mean, it was only like $9. It was well worth it. That's all I got, guys. I won't go another round. That's all that I got for this show. I'm sticking around, hanging out.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
The bad red head. Yeah, that is the bad one.
That's the bad one. No, that was good stuff there, Steve. Good stuff. All right, Paulo, would you send your files over, and then we'll go to Gratu, and then Eric. There you are.
Here we are.
Oh, Felix.
I decided to take a look at what was going on in France in the 1930s, because the U.S. comics in the 30s are very much the subject of study, but we don't see much of what's going on in France. And since it's also the beginning of publishing comics on a regular basis, they ended up taking what they had. So even foreign comics would be, if available, would be reprinted. Hachette, who of course even back then was already a big international publisher, got the rights to publish Felix the Cat. The covers are made in France, but inside the stories, it's the original comic strips.
That Hachette, I still see that today advertised for new books coming out.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, they still exist. They've been one of the biggest publishers in Europe for years.
That's cool.
So this lasted for a while. There were about a dozen
Very nice.
issues. And I think it was only World War II that interrupted the publication because they couldn't import things from the US. A comic about starring Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin movies were marketed as Charlot in France, that ended up spilling into other European countries. Even an old movie theater in my hometown is still called Charlot. There's also lasted for about a dozen issues or so. These stories were made in France, and the covers were very, very
Oh, that's
basic.
delightful.
Yeah, I think they were very inventive. Yeah.
Hmm.
For a minute, I thought those were apples.
Hmm.
Yeah. The tomatoes. Tarzan. They have Al Foster art inside, but the covers were they hired the worst cover artist possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. You go from Hal Foster to this guy? Wow.
Yeah.
This,
Oh,
this thing amputee.
yeah. This one I found very interesting. There was a Shirley Temple comic in France. These stories were made in France. The artist was Belgian. Was called Giffey. They had this photo cover for the first volume. For the second on, they had created new covers, and I found it very strange. very I very much doubt that her image was licensed to produce these. They're probably pirate.
Wow.
This is from a series adapting mostly the animated movies and shorts, like this one. It even has the Silly Symphony. Silly Symphonies is mentioned at the bottom.
Imagine they did a lot of Disney since Disney was so popular.
Mm-hmm. And they achieved popularity all across the civilized world, even in a short time. This one has a pretty good cover. Almost looks like the movie.
Oh, Blanche. Okay.
Very nice.
Blanche would be white, right?
Yeah, and Neige is snow, so yeah, it's Snow White.
Yeah.
And here's something interesting. This is still well known, but not as famous. This is what Hergé was doing before he created Tintin. Quick et Ploup.
Wow.
It's the stories of boys running around the streets of Brussels doing mischief. And they have their nemesis, as can be seen here. This cover in particular is still used today whenever they reprint Quick and Flupke. And here's
I can tell that's him. That his work. That's very cool.
This one is kind of interesting because this is one of Giger's early works. Giger was one of the founders of Le Journal du Spirou, still in 1939. And he was the mentor to Mobius. So you can see Mobius learned a lot about storytelling from Giger, but but Mobius was his apprentice, his assistant in the early 60s. This is still 1937. So you don't see any Mobius at all in Giger's work. This does not resemble anything that he would wound up doing throughout the decades. So, but I think it was an interesting way to see how an artist can develop. This also happens in many American artists. So what they were doing when they the beginnings of their career and what they ended up doing 40 years later is something completely different. So I just thought it would be an interesting way to round out this. this first showing.
Okay,
Very
you
nice.
got a question
Yes, like
there.
yes, like I said, it was what IRG was doing
Okay.
before Tintin.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Now we go to
Bill
Gra 2.
Tintin.
Whoa, let's see. I may have just shown this a couple of weeks ago. I don't know. This is the issue of World's Finest 153 that has the Batman slapping Robin.
Oh, Kryptonite Mannering. That's
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny.
I was just thinking, you guys are showing Donald Duck and then Jonah Hex, and I'm thinking, I never really thought about the connection between the two characters, that they both wear their military uniforms long after the war is over. It's just, I don't know. My mind's working in strange ways as I suffer with neck ache. Here is
Wow.
That's
it's a
awesome.
key issue. It's a great issue, but I hate these people. I just keep ranting about people that say, oh. There's a great video online. I could probably find it. This guy that runs, I think it's called Haven for Heroes. It just popped up in my feed.
Oh yeah, he goes off. Yeah.
This older guy that runs a comic store, I don't know where, but he just goes on and explains why he hates CGC and why it's just ridiculous. I liked it, and I noticed that now everyone's like, it must be showed up in everyone's feed because that Sticky Goose guy did a response video to it. I noticed that. Anyway,
you watch one video and they show you millions, and then other ones similar like his channel. So it's like you're doomed if you watch one thing.
Now, we're talking about pulps, and I hate AI art as much as anyone, but there's a few YouTube channels where sometimes, the stuff looks like it comes from the pit of hell, this AI art, but there's some people that are like putting in pulp imagery and making like what if pulp covers were actually color movies that came out back then, and it's like there's this one channel called the AI Art Appreciation. I don't know what's the channel's name is. I guess it's the AI Art Appreciation channel. It barely has any subscribers, but it's to me it's kind of fascinating to watch this. Is it going? Come on. It's just, to me, it's kind of fascinating. I don't know. The stuff kind of moves a little bit, but I don't know. It's creepy, but you'll see spaceships that'll appear like right out of, sometimes it doesn't look too good, and sometimes it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so now actors and writers are going to go out, or artists are going to go out of business, just like the people running the self.
I hope those actors all do. I hate them all. Can you think of any current movie star that is worth anything?
Nobody cared when self-checkouts came out and they replaced cashiers, but all of a sudden, because
I did. It did bother me, but a lot of times. But when I'm buying a magazine. And I know that the people in the supermarket don't know how to handle the magazines. They'll say, "Oh, well, Mad Magazine, I used to read this as a kid," and they completely F it up, like because they want to look at it. And it's like comic book store people, most of them know how to handle a comic and put it in the bag. So I'll go to this self-check. Of course, no one sells magazines anymore, so it doesn't matter. There was some other channel I just discovered. I don't know. You could just type in.
I'm just shocked that I'm finding records at Walmart.
Yeah, but
it's like if 8-tracks come back, I'm done.
Yeah, here's someone, AI fantasy art, asking AI to create retro pulp sci-fi. I don't know. It's better than any movie that comes out.
I would like more Clash of the Titans stuff. That was cool.
I don't know. It's just that's not even moving. Oh, I don't know. It's just garbage like that. Okay, never mind. You aren't interested in that. Let's see. It's got the Joker on the cover, so it must be It gets worse and worse. I encourage everyone in the chat. I don't know how many people are watching right now. Create your own channel. Start putting stuff up because I'm so sick and tired of watching these I was joking around with my wife, and I came up with the term "mother slabber." These mother slabbers.
These mother flowers.
You look
Yeah,
at these
yeah,
world's
that'll
finest.
catch on.
It almost makes you think that Zack Snyder idiot was justified in having Batman and Superman fighting, because they're like on almost every one of these world's finest issues, they're beating the hell out of each other, or they're having their sidekicks dig their own graves. I love this cover.
Wow.
So hurry up with your graves, Jimmy and Robin. I'd finish you myself, but I have a code against killing. So I'll do the job, boys. That's great. That's $195 if you want to seek it out on mycomicshop.com.
Complicator. I have 214 videos up. What more do you need?
Oh, this is the third race.
And that's this week.
You know, they knew to put it in there because they knew that was going to be something someday. This is the third time they did it. I don't have the second or the first.
I do like those motion lines, though.
Every time I see this cover, I think someone's drawn on it. Doesn't it look like some kid just took a pen and a marker? But that's actually the way it's supposed to be. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Oh, man, what is that? Look, is that actually blood coming out of Superman's mouth?
It's actually
You never see that.
it's jam. He ate one of the hostess pies that.
Oh no, it says I made you bleed. It says it right there.
He ate the hostess pie that and Marsh Manor won.
Yeah. Usually on comic books, the blood is black, you know, especially in Conan. Or Conan, however you want to pronounce it. Okay, then there's X-Men. You've seen those.
Mustard. What mustard is red?
Oh,
Okay, you meant ketchup.
oh my gosh. I encourage everyone to convert to short boxes. I have to have money to do it, but moving these boxes is a lot easier here. Let's see what's in this box.
You need boxes with wheels on them. That's what we need.
Yeah, really. This is a great
That's
issue.
next.
Imagine if the movies actually look like that, you know?
It would have been wonderful.
With his costume like that, it would be great. Bright
Yeah.
colors.
Yeah, why not? And it's like we can't have the helmet on him.
No.
So it was on him for what, about
Maybe
20
they're
seconds
afraid-
in all 8
maybe-
movies?
I would imagine maybe they're afraid it's going to be like Peter Hooten in Doctor Strange.
This is a comic I love, so even if I find a beat-up copy like this with scribble on it, because one of the first comics I ever got as a kid, and I still have it, where is it? This is the actual copy of Super DC Giant, and of course, as a 5-year-old, I didn't know these were reprints. It's got tape on it and everything. But anyway, this is reprints of 50s stuff, and I thought I got an upgrade of it. I guess I didn't. I got the issue before it. But anyway, this is it's Sheldon Mayer. And without this guy here, Superman wouldn't exist, because Siegel and Schuster's artwork was thrown in a trash can, and he pulled it out and said, hey, this doesn't look that bad. So it wasn't for him. None of that would have happened. But anyway, just fun stuff. Okay. And then when you went in a comic store back in the late 70s, and it's like, wow, this is cool. It's a Silver Age comic. You couldn't afford most of them, so you get stuff like this because no one wanted them. But they're wonderful. But you know, you'd have to get the stuff no one wanted, like this, or
Black Hawk.
Man, what was the other one? Not Suicide Squad, but the other one with the car breaking through the billboard. What is that? Secret Six. Stuff that no one collects. Daredevil was like that back then, believe it or not. No one wanted.
I found that as I get older, I break away more from the superhero stuff and go more into like the obscure stuff like that, like, you know, monsters. Yeah.
You kind of have to be.
You do it.
Nowadays.
RDV, that's happened to most of us. Yeah.
Well, it just happened to me now. I'm young, okay?
That's
Right.
is that the character that Spinnerak's wife?
Yes.
dressed
Yes.
as?
Lady Liberty.
Wow.
That is a great costume.
That's America's ass.
So what I would do if I was Donald Trump is I would get either Carrie Lake or that's her name, right? Or what's her face, Tulsi Gabbard, and I'd put her in that suit and march her out to my vice president.
Trump should just put a mustache on and run as a vice president, Tim.
Or Christy Nome. She'd look the best of the three in that.
She would.
Yeah. Or maybe you could just get all three to put that outfit on, and they could be behind him like Charlie's Angels.
They could Jello wrestle to see who gets to be the VP.
And his lawyer,
Well,
his lawyer can be in a Wonder Woman suit, and he would win.
I thought
Look
Jello
at, you
got
get all the
canceled.
women's vote. Look at this
Murder
special guest villain. It started as a serious comic, but they were desperate to sell this comic, and then they tried to get a little more serious. But it didn't. Still a great comic. Okay, got a couple of westerns here.
Cool.
All the
Excellent.
stuff I've shown a million times. I get out the same boxes
cool.
now. My wife it's kind of a surprise, but I know about it. Gotham City, Kevin Johnson, if you're watching this, store in Mesa, Arizona, my wife is going to call him tomorrow, I think, and like get a bunch of stuff for my hold pile as a Valentine's present. So be expecting that call tomorrow or the next day. Anyway, I understand he's also going to be on doing a live show with Horror Mike on Friday. So
Excellent.
Nice.
let's see. This is you think this is a collectible issue, but it's actually a Pizza Hut giveaway from the 70s.
Also, don't worry about us showing books that we've seen before, because most of us are probably forgot already.
I love those.
Yeah,
Pizza
that's
Hut
what
books.
everyone jokes, but when
I
show it like 2 weeks in a row, that's kind of pushing it.
Crowd too. I'd like to get a set of those Pizza Hut books. Those would be great to.
I know. I don't know if they reprint the entire contents.
There was a Batman, a Superman.
Yeah, the Batman reprints the first Mr. Freeze. I have that somewhere. Yeah.
Well, there was the
Beatles.
wedding. He got married to Batwoman on the cover and stuff like that.
Wonder Tot. No one remembers Wonder Tot.
Jackson, you're living wrong. Comics for Valentine's Day. That's what you want.
This is the way to do missiles. Put the skull and crossbones on them. That's the way to do it. And so, yeah, for a while, I guess that's a Golden Age thing, right? Actually, she had the more modern boots, and then she went to the Greek-looking boots. What is she like now in the comics? Because I wouldn't touch a modern DC comic. What does she have? The boots or what do you call these, espadrilles or Greek?
No, they would never have her in any kind of heel.
Oh, really?
That would be
flat
that would
shoes now.
that would be for the male game.
I hear World's Finest is great, but the new World's Finest, but everyone's stopping buying it because the writer's an a-hole. But
Yep.
oh my gosh, isn't that right out of the Book of Revelations, Micah? What? I mean, what is that? Is that? It looks a little bit biblical to me.
I think they want that to be a griffin or something.
I don't know. It looks like those you used to get these posters in the mail from people. They're having a big seminar about the end times, and there would be a guy that looks like that always. This is a great cover, and then I'll shut up for this turn. They just don't do them like this anymore.
I agree.
Clayface? Weird.
And actually, the next, let's see, what is that? 151, 153. They're kind of desperate. They're thinking, well, maybe we make Wonder Girl. Then
Like Eclipso.
But see here, but they were trying to sell this comic. 156, they go back and put her in the Golden Age. They put her in World War II.
Yeah.
And that goes for a while, and then they make her Diana Rigg there for a while. Emma Peel. This cover is all text, pretty much. Shut up! We've got all this text for the kids to read. And okay, I'm not shutting up. Oh, I think it's Gorilla Suit Day, isn't it? I see that all over everything I look at today. It's officially Gorilla Gorilla Suit Day. I don't know if we have a terrible. In my opinion, the president's not optimal, but if I were the president, I would make sure that Gorilla Suit Day was a federal holiday, but have him in charge.
All
Trump
right, good
would give
stuff.
us Gorilla Suit Day and all the banks would close.
Sure, sure.
I'll
All
say.
right, let's go to Eric Green.
Yep. First, got to bring up that Wonder Woman's marriage to that monster didn't last because 20 issues later, she was fighting Supergirl for the honor of marrying Claymore.
Hey, did you see they've cast the Supergirl for the new James Gunn DC movies? And she actually has blonde hair, and
I know, and
she's
it was down to 2 blonde white girls.
That's kind of shocking.
Well, but so far only one far left website has complained about it. Anyway, I'm going to lead off by reading Steve's video.
Oh.
That's amazing.
There you go.
It almost makes death beautiful.
Very nice.
And we're gonna shift from war to love.
Oh,
Kind of gets you right
Aw.
yeah, it does.
there.
Yeah, get you in the heartstrings.
Wow.
Man, these are great.
Those are awesome.
Wow.
How do I make them love me?
What are these selling for now? Are they like $30 or more or less?
What people are asking for them and what they're selling for.
What
I
they
think
actually
are
sell for.
We don't have any romance in our store anymore. Not since I bought them
Oh,
out.
so the ones that you got for my box you're sending me.
Well, I mean, I have that issue, but what are people charging on eBay or wherever you buy them?
Shoot, anywhere from $10 to $50.
Wow.
Okay.
But I think somebody got in their head that they sell, that they're valuable, and so everybody's asking for the moon. But I'll bet you 95% of those end up becoming or best offer.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine. Like I said there's such a small market for these, and a lot of the people, and to be honest, a lot of people that are into these are closer to fixed income than having $50 for a romance book.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm on the precipice there myself, brother. Steve, and in honor of Steve being here, here's Mysteries of Unexplored World.
Wow.
Number 25.
That's the only good thing about looking forward to the apocalypse that's going to happen soon.
I
See monsters like that appear.
So, Mystery in Space. 94.
That looks like he's dancing there.
Yep.
It looks a little effeminate.
I can't even say this presents well in this bag.
There you go.
Dirty ass book.
Yes.
Was I the only one that when I saw? Did you see the ads
Put
for
me
that
down,
comic?
I'll be your friend.
That kind of disturbing. I was kind of disturbed by that cover. It was like when I was in second grade.
Oh yeah.
It just was weird.
Yeah. Put me together, I'll be your friend.
There's a Patsy
Hey.
Betty.
There we go.
And here is a Police Comics.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh.
Ken
Wow.
Shannon. In my old collection, I had the first issue of Ken Shannon, Private Eye, where he fights a vampire.
So Plastic Man had left at that point.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey.
They did that. I really hope that they did that to him.
Um,
You should pull Lady Rawhide now.
Yeah, so I know I've shown this before, but it's up in rotation. And why not show it again?
That's the one you fixed. It's pretty much fixed.
Everything but Thor's right arm.
Yeah.
I thought that was a Milky Way stain.
Is a Spider-Man king size annual.
Oh, shocking.
And number 43. And from the
Hello.
June and Downey collection.
Nice.
I know I've shown this before, but again, it just went in the box.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's 124.
Uh-oh.
Which we read on the channel. Nice.
It's too bad we don't have Pixel here to tell us what newspaper JJJ runs.
Yep.
Spider-Woman number 2.
I'm just gonna get you a sound clip and I'll play on my phone in time.
It's number 3.
It's like the guy from G.I. Joe. I always loved that comic.
Yep.
Did they ever bring her back?
I think they brought her back for like a panel in one issue of Crisis.
Oh,
They tried to get everybody in there. Star Spangled War.
I bet they didn't get the Three Musketeers in there though.
No.
Or Rudolph.
And we'll finish this round off with Star Trek 43.
Nice.
Very good. I expected maybe a little particular artist in mind, but you didn't show Mr. Katz. Piranha will once again accuse me of, not pulling the triggers. So, and we have lost Steve. Hopefully he can get a connection again because I had some more stuff to show him. Origin and Spotlight 32. There you go, folks. All right, back to over here. We'll do a little Powwow Smith.
Wow, I've never heard of this. Oh, the first issue?
Yeah, it's worth slightly less than issue 10.
And you like good wedding issues? Well,
Wow.
for the baseball fan out there,
That must be Baltimore.
Gotham City.
Well,
Gotham
I
City.
thought they were rats for a second. That's why I thought it was Baltimore.
Well, Steve, I put this aside for 3 weeks, hoping he would see it, but hopefully he could see it from his home. I'll have another Charlton coming up. Here's some Unknown Worlds. The Novik protege. What do you call it? And I should have put this Flintstones with the Pebbles and Bam Bam. Now, there's something to actually teach you guys. This is combat number 8, but they already had a combat number 8. This followed it. And so this should have been number 9, because guess what? The issue after this is number 10. So when you go to the Grand Comic Database, it'll say this is Combat 8, And then they put in brackets by it number 9 because it should be number 9. They also go on to say you should consider it a typo.
Oh,
So there you learn something whether you wanted to or not. Here's a little Dot when she's learning how to poison the milk supply and genetically modify all the cows.
she's in Wuhan.
Yes. I want to see how dark I can make poor little Dot. Here she is running this poor golfer's life. See, the rules just don't apply to Dot. She just causes trouble.
Her smile really is psychopathic.
And she'll never get charged with anything because she has altered her fingerprints. So, she'll always get away with stuff.
I don't know. That might just make her the only one with dots. So
That's right.
I think she might get framed a lot.
So here's Snooper and Blabber.
That's
number 3.
Never even knew that existed.
Here's Superboy 113 from 1964.
You need to read that for the movies.
A couple weeks ago, I showed you guys a big trade of Eerie. Well, here is Volume 3 of Creepy.
The Rosetta covered.
And I love them. They're great. I was telling Gratu earlier, I kind of like the Eerie one a little bit better than the Creepy. So, not to offend, but the art in these are just dynamite, stunning. So,
yeah.
But anyway, recommend those. And here's the other Charlton. It's a $6 Million Man magazine. It's pretty rough, but I don't really see these out here where I live, so
no,
I couldn't resist.
Does it have Neil Adams art inside?
I don't know.
I'll try to check while somebody else is going.
I love the variant there where he's cracking up with 2 cold ones and giving hell yeah.
Yeah. So, Paulo, just to reiterate, these are the American editions of Asterix. I'm showing that because they now make these hardbacks.
Yeah.
And the
Nice.
hardbacks are a little smaller. So that's why I brought this one out.
Yeah, and that new size makes absolutely no sense.
Where do you find these? You just go through a catalog or something? Or you just happen upon them at a store?
You can find them online because Asterix is not really a big seller here in Missouri where I'm at. So, but these are 2 that I did not have. I think I've got them all except where they go to India. So,
Yeah, those 2
I
new guys,
never-
Ferry and Conrad, they know how to bring back the old Goscinny Uderzo style.
Yeah.
and I got another great Karl Barks hardback.
All right.
And if you look closely, Donald has a sapphire or some kind of jewel in his turban. So does Dewey. But they shine if you see them in real light. So they've added a little extra gloss to those 2 little dots. But if you want to go through some great Karl Barks stuff, there you go. So fabulous. And they keep making these, and I keep trying to find them. So, and I think that'll do it for this round. I'll check on that Neil Adams. So
I'm just looking. I think it's only the first 3 issues Neil Adams did.
Okay. We'll go to RDV unless we need to go to Paulo for his bedtime.
No, Venkman can go now.
Okay, all right.
Bedtime? He's not that
Well-
old.
It's pretty late over there.
He's in Portugal.
It's 2:15.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I showed this or not, but I found this at Target a while back.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
This is pretty much full issues in here. So for you older guys, you can read it now.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I didn't know that existed
Yeah.
either.
Paid like $70, but it's cool stories. And then somewhere else.
$70.
$70. It was exclusive at Target only. Let's see. It basically goes through 1923 all up to 2022. So and it gets little information about that through the years.
Yeah.
Full stories. I love it, man. I saw it there, and you get stuff like this. So a lot of obscure stuff. Yeah, just saw it at Target. They only had one left, and I was like, $70. I really want to pay that. I'm like, screw it, get it, because I don't think I'll ever see it again. But I always thought that was kind of cool. I'm making on the Disney kick. And then I saw this at a half price books. Little Baby Classics Illustrated.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, from 1997. Little study guide. So that was kind of cool. All right, and then came across this too. It's one of my favorite stories I have of them. Public Enemies. But I didn't realize this is actually the one that comes with the movie in it too. So that I was going through as well in my shop today. Some 90s trades.
Oh yeah, that stupid Joker fish. That freaky story.
Oh, yeah. But I love it. It has all the old stuff in here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
For the years. I just love seeing that kind of stuff. And as I was going through, I found another collection of older ones. And it just has old basically the Jokers, or not Joker, but Two-Face and Riddler's, their first appearances. So some of the old art here.
Yeah.
Couple Riddler stories, couple Batman stories. Let's see if we can actually. So that was kind of cool. Flex that. And then came across this, and I kind of like, it's the first archive volume of the Supergirl. And I looked online. I'm like, is this a real cover, or is this a variant? No, that's
you know who that is, don't you?
No.
Frank Miller.
Really?
Yep.
Should have guessed. Current or old?
What series?
That's it. He just did the cover for that. That was late 80s, early 90s when that came
But it
out.
has some of the old stuff here. So it has quite a few in here stories. Here's the other stories.
Is that the series that ends with her having the headband on the issue that she died just before she dies in? Yeah, never mind.
No, that is.
All I know is to describe it by what outfit she's wearing. So
Yeah,
It was back.
that should have like.
So it was back when you could have a rainbow in a comic book and no one was gay.
right.
That's
That's
why
all
it
it
starts
was.
with Action 252, doesn't it?
This is the first one here is Superman 123, but yeah, 252 is Supergirl Action Comics.
Yeah, so Superman 123 had a prototype Supergirl.
Yes, and DC Comics House announced the first appearance of Supergirl in Action Comics. Supergirl.
It's not worth as much as 252, but it does jack the price of 123.
But it goes all the way up to Action Comics 268. So, it has some of the covers in the back.
Yeah, those archives were really cool at the time because the trade market wasn't that big at the time, so those are cool.
Oh, and one of the Joker fish. Somebody left their chili dog receipt in here in the book from 2007. They had a triple chili dog. Hungry. All right. Then I came across these too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
It's too bad Steve's gone. He probably has some of those issues.
Right. He probably has them signed too by Steve Ditko. I mean.
No.
I got this as well. They had like 20 of these just sitting there in a stack.
Same issue.
Same one of these, like all volume 12s.
See, my Half Price Books hasn't gotten any PSR books for 3 years.
Yeah, so I like that. But then the coolest thing I came across today, and this is the final thing I have to show, is this right here.
That is a cool book. I have that.
Oh, I just love it because it just goes through the years, and it gives you introduction to all the characters. You know, talks about the history of it, of Marvel. To each character, basically basically it has what it says in here. It says over. What does it say here? Up front, 700 color illustrations, fantastic superhero profiles, and then behind the scene adventures. So, and then of course they have to include the toy lines too. So I know a lot of you guys like ads and stuff like that too. So they show you like that stuff. They even give you stories in here. It's right here. Gives you in the back here. It has not only the Spider-Man versus the Vulture at the end there, full story, but it has this man, this monster, full story with commentary and stuff. Like I said, if you're a fan of this, like X-Men, all that stuff, Spider-Man, Punisher, Thor, it's just really cool. Original was only $24.95. I got it for half off of this. And this is from like what was it? Early 90s, wasn't it? Green?
Sure. It should be on the indicia somewhere.
I think it was 1991,
This is back here.
and
but,
it is Marvel approved. So
Oh,
so you won't. So it'll claim that Stanley created everything alone.
right. Yep. Stan Lee by himself. Yeah, it starts off with newsstands, basically 1986 to 1939, or 1896 to 1939, talking about stuff. But yeah, nice introduction by Stan Lee. So I figured, I saw it there. I figured, how often do you see these things? Really don't. And this is 1991. You're correct. Yes. So. And that's all I got.
Nice.
You know?
Very good stuff.
Oh, thanks, Heavy.
All right, let's have Paulo send something over.
I felt like I was holding a Megan's phone book.
What's a phone book?
Don't know if you know RDV, but the guys were saying a lot of nice things about those books you were showing. So,
But nothing about me, though.
Yeah, before the more common comic book publishers started cranking out albums, Hachette was one of the major publishers of comics and illustrated books, and so because they had educational divisions, they wanted to make sure that there were educational comics around. So a few biographies like this one of famous pirate Jean Bart. He was a corsair, so he was officially working for the French government in pillaging English ships. There's one about Napoleon, fairly standard. An official adaptation of the Robin Hood movie, created in France. Yeah, and there's and keeping it Asterix theme.
Vercingetorix.
Yes, predating Vercingetorix's first appearance in
Yeah.
Asterix.
Yeah, I bet. You guys, if you don't read Asterix, you're missing out on all these little
Yeah.
jokes Paulo and I are.
Yeah, Vercingetorix was the actual Gaulish warrior who was
Yes.
defeated by Julius Caesar in battle and allowed the Romans to take over the whole of Gaul.
Beat by a guy named after a salad?
Yes.
Yeah.
An Orange Julius?
This was one of the first commercial successes in French comics, Zig and Puss. Although kind of forgotten now. They had a penguin named Alfred who was fairly anthropomorphic. Here's another one. They traveled a lot.
That poor penguin who has been sweating to death. Where's the penguin? Did they drop him out?
They did. They went to the 21st century, forgot the penguin at home.
They traded him to Bloom County.
And another one. No penguin, but they got a girlfriend.
There he is. He's at the bottom left. Penguin.
Yeah. Trying to listen in.
Without a beak, you wouldn't tell it's a penguin at all.
There was this is part of a series that was essentially like Classics Illustrated. This was one of two Gulliver's Travels books. Very, very freaky.
Are they getting him drunk on purpose?
Yeah.
Jeez.
They tried. And then the majority of the books in the series were adaptations of children's novels that were written by the Countess of Sigur. My sister had one of her books. I think we still have it around the house. I may have to look for it. Here's another one. This was not by the Countess of Sigur, but it was by another French female author of the 19th century. The Bluebird. An illustrated guide to automobiles by Hachette. That was a pretty cool cover. The car is a Renault.
Great convenience right there. With the crash, you have a car up.
And this one I found very interesting because this is Peter Pat was a comic strip created by Mo Leff, who was assistant on Alley Oop, and then took over. What was the other one? Mo Leff, Joe Palooka. He took over Joe Palooka after the original creator died, but Peter Pat did not last long, just a couple of years in the U.S. And two books came out in France in the late 30s, and I think these are the only strip collections of Peter Pat outside the United States.
You know, Paulo, I think I have his same outfit somewhere.
Jackson has hers.
Yeah.
The thing is, this artist, Molev, he was very, very good. Once again, they had a cover artist who did not do the original one justice. Even in the Peter Pat strip, which had nothing to, was completely different to what he ended up doing in Joe Palooka. It's almost like Kirby or Al Williamson. There's a lot of movement running around it. It's very detailed and it's very, very good.
Those Red Sox just kill me.
It's like Peter Pan with
Here's another one. Here's another one. This is the Voyages of Tintin.
Oh no, woman driver.
Yeah.
So they're not making fun of Tintin.
They're not related to Tintin. This is kind of Tintin, but it kind of looks like Tintin. It was at this stage. It's sort of more what Tintin became later.
Oh.
And there were only 4 books of this one. It was interrupted by World War II, unfortunately, and it didn't come back.
least they got some action into the strip.
Mhm.
They're not just running through fields anymore.
I want to believe that that's still the same book with the penguin, and he's flying the plane.
And final, Don Bosco. This is one of Gigi's early early works. It's now morphing into the style that he later adopted when he worked on Jerry Spring, which was a successful Western comic. And The Fables of La Fontaine, another one of those illustrated books.
Well, that's horrifying. For
Yeah,
kids.
they're killing that poor. Even the elephant wants in on some of that.
Lions, tigers, and bears.
And finally, an adaptation of William Tell. And that is
Wow.
it for tonight.
Very good.
And
I
on that
enjoyed
note, I have to bid you guys adieu. I have to leave. I'll see you
Okay.
guys next weekend or next week.
All right.
Sorry.
We
Later,
will
guys.
see.
See you, Bang.
See ya.
Yeah.
I thought you would get ready to say something to him. All right, let's go to Gratu.
Okay. I've shown this a couple of times on my show, but I haven't shown it here. I don't think. This is a magazine that just came out not too long ago. And it's a magazine, but it's like a soft cover book, basically. It's not super expensive. I mean, it's $15. Great EC fanzine about the artist from EC. And thing is, this guy that put this out, Roger Hill, passed away right after he put this out. So I think his funeral was last weekend. So I highly recommend this book. I mean, lots of reading, dense reading, and wonderful pictures. There's letters between Jack Davis and Hugh Hefner. I mean, there's everything in here. Cards, Christmas cards by the EC artist. Highly recommend this stuff if you want to know about. There was going to be, John Landis was going to make a movie about the EC staff making the EC comics, and it was going to be called, I think, Yours Ghoulie, William Gaines. It never got off the ground, but it almost happened. And he used to be able to make good movies. I mean, if he made Animal House, he could make, he could have done that. This is an expensive book. That's not too expensive, $15. This thing was, I don't remember. I think it was over $50. It's also a soft cover book, but it's actually a magazine from England, but it's a book magazine. And it's all about, this issue's all about Warren magazines. And I need to be careful not to show, because Warren could have some inappropriate images. But anyway, seen a lot of people on Facebook lately really going after going after Will Eisner. This is Will Eisner, and then it's been painted over by, I believe, Richard Corbin. Yeah, pretty sure. But a lot of people saying, his character of Ebony, even though he was in the mid 70s in the Warren book, they had a whole issue with stories focused on Ebony, but now, he was drawn in a ridiculously exaggerated stereotype, but I mean, the character wasn't, I don't know. And so people say we should change the name of the Eisner Awards. And it's like people, I don't know. It's hard to say. People are getting upset about it lately. They want to cancel him. But anyway, this is this is a sketch of the Ultimate Frazetta cover that
Wow.
It's a lot of good stuff in this. I mean, it's expensive, but so is everything in this world today. This is something I've gone down a rabbit hole recently of wanting. Okay, so here's Archie and Betty.
Wow.
And I was reading, okay, there was a real Betty, and they made a movie about her. And when she was 94, this documentary came out about her called Archie's Betty. I don't know how to see it. Maybe someone knows how to obtain this movie. That's Bob Montana on a date with the real Betty, whose name was Betty Tokar Jankovic. And it's like, it was so Bob Montana was working at MLJ Magazines, the comic company, you know, around 39, 40. And Harry Lucy was his friend. And there were the two girls that worked in the cafeteria, you know, and I think they were sisters. Anyway, Harry Lucy and Bob Montana, you know, asked them out. And then they decided to switch, you know, they liked each other, you know, the other. So Bob Montana at first, so actually Bob Montana, the original Archie artist, and Harry Lucy, the guy that was more of the 60s Archie artist, maybe late 50s, early 60s, he had also gone out on a date with the same girl. Anyway, so I'd like to see this documentary. And actually on Netflix right now, if you have that horrible streaming thing, there is a Bollywood movie called The Archies, which looks more faithful to the spirit of the Archie comic than these TV shows where Archie's sleeping with his teacher and all this dark stuff, murder and all that. But it's just like, you know, it's in this fantasy world that's half India, half the United States, and they're all Indian. There's no blonde Betty. Betty and Veronica both have dark hair because they're all Indian actors. But I mean, but it's a musical and it looks fun. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but has anyone seen it or even know what I'm talking? I think I showed the trailer once on here.
Eglinton's seen it. He liked it.
All right. Okay. So this is from Gotham City Comics. Make sure you shop there. That's an important store. I don't know. I wish I had a better collection of these, you know. Another rabbit hole to get into is people in the music world that are comic collectors. I mean, who do you know? I mean, obviously Danzig is a comic collector. He has his own company that makes these kind of weird, dirty comics, and he had hired Frazetta and people like that. And what's that other artist that has that really bizarre style? It's kind of like Corbin. What's his name? That real extreme artist. It'll come to me later.
Simon Bisley?
That's him. Yeah. You know, he's kind of in the camp of Corbin. But anyway, you know, I remember when the Stray Cats first came out that, what's his face? Brian Setzer saying he had a collection of 50s Archie comics. And I thought, well, that makes sense because this goes right along with the rock and roll culture and everything of that time. But I don't know. Or can you think of other artists that were influenced by comics? I know Debbie Harry wrote a song about being into comics as a kid.
Yeah, I think Paul McCartney at least has a passing interest in comics because he's incorporated that into a few of his songs.
Yeah, it's like, but it, you know, what was it, Magneto and the Titanium Man?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a cool thing among, you know, for the counterculture people, especially the Silver Surfer. I've seen people at rock festivals pick photographs, people at rock festivals, and they have stacks of Silver Surfer comics they're selling to fellow heads because they think, oh, it's so cosmic, it's psychedelic, man. But,
Joe Satriani did that Surfing with the Alien record.
Yeah.
Is that any good? I don't know what that means.
I don't like that style of guitar.
Okay, I mean, I've seen that record album, but I just like, oh, there was a jazz album with a really cool Spider-Man cover that came out in the 60s. Who was that guy?
I've never seen.
I'll look it up here. I'll find it. Man, I don't know what to show you guys. This I found at Dollar General. It just looks like these generic public domain things, but no, it's got Space Ghost and Frankenstein Jr. and stuff. Now, I know you can get the complete Frankenstein Jr. and all of those. I don't think you can get Fantastic Four yet, but if you order them from Amazon, but then you'll probably get it destroyed with discs loose in there. I don't know, because Amazon's like, we'll just throw one single feather in there and then throw it in a giant box and send it and be destroyed.
Ken, I know you're a big record guy. Have you ever seen a band called Icarus? They have an album called World of Marvels.
Yeah, yes, and that's on YouTube. Yeah, so you guys can look that up. Icarus, yeah.
Because the Marvel cover was only available in Europe.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't. It had a different cover in the States, and I had a chance to get that cover for like $100 once, and I didn't do it, and now it's probably crazy expensive. But
there's that Spider-Man rock opera that
got the CD of that somewhere.
Yeah, that's, and you can sometimes you can find these records that are high dollar, generic form like this. You don't know what this is, but this is actually the '60s Batman record where they act out. It's very much like the old time radio shows. I think this is good. They have a Superman one made from those tapes. Yeah, okay. I'll look up the Spider-Man jazz thing. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But anyway, yeah. So, because I've always thought of comic books and rock and roll and hot rods, all of it, it's all kid culture. It's all forbidden kid culture. And I just see it all as one thing. Monsters, I just don't. Spider-Man jazz. It's got an amazing cover and jazz song. Come on. Well, we can go to the next person. I'll find it, and I'll say something about it.
Well, we can go to Eric.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll pick up with Strange Adventures 212.
Oh.
We got a Strange Tales 170.
Man. Looking good.
Isn't it though?
Now that became huge. Why did that become huge? Was there rumors of a movie, or it's just because it's a cool comic?
I think probably some of both, because that 169 is like stratospherically expensive.
I've got a couple of copies of it.
There you go.
Never understand why it became that big.
When you were saying the other day in your video, said, try to say what your most valuable comics are, and maybe that's one. Maybe that's one of them now.
What is it? $500 or something?
It's closer to 1,000.
Oh, good. Well, that's great.
There's Tales of Suspense 99.
Does that character still exist in Marvel with a different name? Because I don't think they'd call him Brother Voodoo anymore.
They made him the Sorcerer Supreme, and he started banging the Scarlet Witch.
Oh, of course. They've got it. Yeah, ridiculous.
And I don't know what happened to him after that, because I know that Doctor Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme again. And he's with his wife and everything. Tarzan 63. Teen Confessions 33.
That's cool.
We're gonna hit a few books I've shown before, but I don't care. Thor 126.
Yeah.
130. $147. 148. First Wrecker. There's I think this one. This one, I think I am going to have to send off to be slabbed. Yes, yeah, because I want to preserve those nice rounded corners.
Yeah.
Number 31.
What's cool is when you've got a comic featuring the Human Torch, like there was a Marvel team up with Spider-Man and the Human Torch, and it had gone through a fire, and it was burned on the edges. And I wrote on the back of the backing board at the store that this, and I autographed it Johnny Storm, and I said it was from the personal collection of Johnny Storm, just because it's a burned comic with him in it.
It's 41. Mike, the 31 was Gil Kane and Tom Palmer. Tom Palmer kind of, took some of the Kane out and kind of made it look a little bit more.
You mean Gil Kane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great,
nice
man.
Tom, yeah.
Gil Kane may be one of the all-time great artists.
Oh, he's been my favorite.
Tallarico, man.
Talking about that one show, Tom and Jerry. No, I noticed that Mr. Palmer.
Imagine if Gil Kane did a Tom and Jerry cover.
That's great.
The nostril shots we get.
When Buscema started to do the Avengers again, late 80s, early 90s, Palmer was there to ink, and it looked a little muddy, I thought.
I think I can't think of anybody that Palmer didn't make look better, including Buscema. It's not about his. I don't know what it was about his inking, because it wasn't overpowering like a Klaus Janson.
Yeah.
It was, Uncle Scrooge 61. Number 80. $103. There's Unknown Worlds 32.
Cool.
I was talking to a 12-year-old about Disney, and I said, you notice how all the Disney characters, even the cows, have white gloves? And he said, it's a Freemason thing. I thought, what? I said, you're right. Disney was a Mason. And I never thought of that. And I looked it up online, and that's apparently going around on TikTok, and that's what all the kids watch. And it just makes perfect sense. But they say that's a rumor. It's probably because they wanted to animate, and Mickey Mouse's black hands didn't show up across his black torso. And no, it makes perfect sense. The Masonic gloves they look exactly like that, and it's a symbol of purity. So that, I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I don't think there's any real connection. I do think Mr. Disney was a Mason, but I don't think it. Western Publishing is the guys that are drawing this stuff, and they're just told, hey, make our funny books for us, and so they just.
Oh, I know, but I mean, in the original cartoons, everybody's got white gloves.
Oh, well.
3 little pigs, everybody. The wolf, everybody.
And the last thing I'm going to show, there's a book from about when the movie started coming out, the Avengers Assemble, and if you ordered a specific amount of copies, you got a variant, your store variant.
But it looks terrible. Look at the Hulk.
That's not the point, but it's got our name on there.
Oh, it's got the name of your store.
Yeah,
shut up, man. I'm just being an asshole.
Well, that's why I'm showing. That's why I'm not showing the Hulk. I'm showing the store. And so there's probably hundreds of different variants depending on how much you order as a store. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Cooler than going inside the book, I'm relatively sure.
Probably.
I found what I was talking about. It's an album, Freddie McCoy. See, it's from the 60s with all the stereo on and it's you can listen to this. I think the whole album, if you type in Freddie McCoy Spider-Man, I mean, there's one track on there called Spider-Man. I don't want to tempt the play it. I'll play a couple of seconds. I don't want to
say what label that was on.
I'll check here. That's right. You're a record store guy. You could probably. It's that kind of jazz. Okay, that's enough. I don't want to mess with the YouTube gods. What label is it on? Let's see if I can blow it up. It's provided to YouTube by Universal Music Group. Boy, I'm glad I only played half a second of it. Man. Yeah. Well, Freddie McCoy, here's another record he did. What is that label there? That's looks like Prestige, but I don't know if
That-
that
that's
other Spider-Man record is on Prestige.
Okay, well that's a good jazz label. So that's.
I think Freddie McCoy was someone that was well known, but
Yeah, I'm trying to because I'm a big fan of like the Blue Note era of jazz.
Yeah.
And but some of those names, I don't know if I'm like confused, getting Freddie McCoy and McCoy Tyner, mixed up. And I mean, my jazz knowledge is not good.
I like the jazz of that time period, but this is the other one that I was talking about. That's the
Thank you, Jackson.
The rock opera, and it's acted out. It's got a lot of the villains, but then it's got the Spider-Man theme is hilarious on this. But anyway, enough of that. That's all I know on that. But you can look up Freddie McCoy. You can get just about anything on YouTube if you hunt for it musically.
Well, we're going to end the show pretty soon, and poor Paulo needs to get to bed as fast as possible. But just a reminder, there's some things coming up. Next Wednesday, we'll have I Love Disney and Comics. And then 8 days after that, we'll have Black Box Silver and Bronze. By the way, backing up a little bit, this coming Friday, I think, was a Horror Mike will have Gotham City Comics on.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing a stream where kind of like I do, where you see inside the store. He must be doing it after he closes.
And then don't forget Saturday morning. There's two old guys with their foggy comic book memory. I keep forgetting what that's called, but be sure to check those guys out.
Comic book memories.
Yes.
I thought you were kidding.
It's more important that they remember.
Yes, because they don't start the show. And then unrelated, but it's important to me. Saturday night on Svengoolie, he'll be doing The Creature from the Black Lagoon. So it's one of my favorites. So
there is a new star on that Svengoolie show. I don't know if I can get MeTV. I haven't put up my antenna since I moved here, but there is a lady that's on YouTube named Pinup Palmer. I really encourage you to subscribe to her. She's got a great Christmas special. I think it's the last thing, but she's like a real life Jessica Rabbit. She'll do makeup and make her look exactly like Vampire. Anyway, she's a new cast member on there. I think she's called. Do you guys know? She kind of has green hair. Are there any Svengoolie?
I did subscribe to her after you recommended her, but I haven't seen her. I don't watch Svengoolie as a rule, so I haven't seen her on that. But
well, watch her show, her Christmas special. I mean, she's really got a lot of personality.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Yeah, and she's probably not more than 24 years old, and she's really okay.
Gwen Gooley.
Okay. Yeah. All right. She's good.
I was surprised I was surprised that she doesn't have way more subs than she does, because she's even if the kids don't know who she's doing, she looks damn good doing it. And that seems to be a recipe for success on on YouTube. So but yeah,
I don't know. I can't.
Well, my favorite part about the Svengoolie show is about 45 minutes into it, he does a let's see where all these characters have been in other movies, and he shows you this guy played in this movie, and I find that just fascinating. So anyway, the movies are always good too, but I like that trivia. So
yeah, my friend was such a fan of all those movies from the 50s, and he moved to Hollywood. He'd be in 7-Eleven, and it's like, that guy was in The Giant Claw, and that guy over there buying the milk, he was in the Deadly Mantis. He'd immediately know who everyone was, and so I've got an Attack of the Crab Monsters poster that I bought from him. It's signed by Roger Corman, because he saw Roger Corman coming out of a liquor store, and he said, "Hey, Roger," and he just happened to have that poster in his car and said, "Here, sign this." Okay, sure. So it's like only someone that's friends with me would just happen to have an Attack of the Crab Monsters poster in the back seat of their car. when Roger Corman was coming out with his liquor. But anyway, I'll shut up.
So anyway, we got a lot of stuff coming up. So hang in there and enjoy it. And I'm sure you'll see Eric on a Geeky Puppet Show reading. You'll see RDV, who was on earlier. Many thanks to him coming on. Thanks, Paulo, for staying up with us this late. And does anybody else have anything? Or I'll delicately pull something that looks like a plug, right, Eric? All right. Until next Wednesday, we'll see I Love Disney back with us. And happy drawing.
Good night, kids.
Bye.